Women fall in love with the idea of you, and then they fall out of love with the real you. Really think about that, guys. Women fall in love with the idea of you, the caricature of you, but then once they get to know the real you, that's when they fall out of love. So let's talk about this. When I say a woman falls in love with you, you have to understand what she's falling in love with. It's not real necessarily. She's falling in love with an illusion of who she thinks you are. This is often why in game and pickup and all that, we almost manufacture that illusion. And then we just keep the illusion going. A chick never falls out of love. Women cannot love you in the way that you as a man would want and expect to be loved. But in their minds, what they think is loving you is really not loving you. And this is what we're talking about tonight, because women do fall in love with just this hypothetical view of what she thinks you are, almost like the movie version of you, the character. It's like how you watch like one of your favorite movies and you see one of your favorite actors playing this character and then you believe that's him. You might see him in public. You'll want to call him his character's name instead of his real name, which many people often do. So it's the same with women. She falls in love with this movie version of you, this caricature of you, this superhero version of you. That isn't really you. There is probably some moments where you are that guy, but you can't be that guy 24/7. This is often why a lot of these women, and I've talked about this before, like NFL quarterbacks, their wives end up divorcing them towards the end of their career, if not immediately after their career. And it's not just NFL quarterbacks, but it's also just NFL players, right? A lot of them end up getting divorced as soon as their career is over. Why is that? What happened to their women? They were with me my whole career. It's because you were this guy, and now you're no longer that guy. Speaking of NFL quarterbacks, who just got divorced? Tom Brady. What was going on with Giselle? She was with him throughout his entire career, wasn't she? He was winning all these Super Bowls, signing autographs. Everyone wants to take a selfie with him. He was the GOAT, and then his career starts winding down. He gets traded over to Tampa Bay. Suddenly, that's where the relationship starts to get rocky. She goes off, meets the jiu-jitsu instructor, and then his career is over like the following year, and not even surprisingly, she filed for divorce to cut it off with Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Would she have done that at the beginning of his career? Absolutely not. Same thing happened to John Elway, by the way. John Elway's wife, Time, was with him through his entire career. Right? Had a phenomenal career. Right after he retired, boom, divorce papers. Whoa, what's going on with that? Because again, like I said, these women, they fall in love with the idea of you, not the real you. Because once she wakes up to the real you, that's when she falls out of love. So when these guys are playing NFL quarterback and I'm on ESPN every Sunday night playing football and I have millions of adoring fans who know my name, once that starts to wind down, and that fantasy starts to deteriorate. He's no longer this glorified NFL quarterback. Now he's at home, retired, taking out the trash, doing homework with the kids, picking up dog poop in the yard. He's just a regular guy now. Now he's just like everybody else. She doesn't see him as that superhero anymore. Now she's in reality with him. She's no longer in the movie. She's back in reality. And for a lot of women, a lot of these DGs, these Jezebels, these alpha concubines, alpha widows, that's just too much reality for them to bear. So what do? They go back in the theater to watch another movie. It's like when you leave a movie theater and you're like immersed in this 2-hour fantasy, this escapism, this illusion. And then you leave the theater like to bright daylight and you're like, back in reality. I have to work tomorrow. It's that same feeling. You just want to go back in the theater. With these women, a lot of them cannot go from the honeymoon phase, which is the beginning of the relationship, the early stages of the relationship, like when everything's fun and exciting and mysterious. They can't transcend into the reality phase of the relationship where you're over each other's little cute quirks. They're no longer cute. They're annoying. You see the person's habits, just normal everyday habits. You see that the person is no longer Superman. He's just Clark Kent. Sometimes that's a little too much reality for women. Not all, because obviously the good women can transcend, because there are a lot of women who end up getting married. They marry these guys and they don't divorce them. They stay with them. We call that a good woman. Guys, that's called a good woman. GW. For good women, when they're in the honeymoon phase with a guy like that, like say a Tom Brady or whatever, an NFL quarterback or a movie star or whatever, they're at the prime of their career, they know At some point, this roller coaster ride is going to end. They know at some point they're going to be at home with their husband. It's just going to be them two together. They're going to grow old together. The fame is going to go away. The accolades are going to go away. The cameras, the paparazzi. And it's just going to be me and you, babe. And you know what? They're okay with that because they stand by their man. Remember that old song? Stand by your man. Give him the world. I think it was Tammy Wynette who sang that. I don't know, but my dad used to play it constantly for my mom. Stand by your man. So these women, good women, stand by their man. Bad women, Jezebels, alpha widows, alpha concubines, as I call them, they do not. They are just there for the ride. They are just there for the thrill. And as soon as the ride's over, they're right off. As soon as the movie ends, they're out of that theater, onto another movie theater. Unfortunately, a lot of women are like this. All of them? No, of course not all of them, but many of them are. As I've said, the good ones have more of an understanding, more of a perspective that this idealistic superhero movie version of you is not sustainable. They know that, hey, he's human, he bleeds red. At some point, I'm not going to see a good side of him. At some point, he's going to slip. At some point, he may trip. But I'm okay with that because I care about him. And then she'll stay with you anyway. Why? Because she cares about you. Whereas a lot of women these days won't. They'll be like, oh, gotta do me. I gotta do me. I'm a queen. I gotta get back out there. I gotta keep the party going. YOLO, YOLO. And they're in it for themselves. Obviously, you don't want to be with a woman who's in it for herself. You want to be with a woman who's in it for both of you. That's how you know you've got a good woman. When I say that these women fall in love with the idea of you, and then they fall out of love with the real you, believe me, that is true with a specific type of woman, which is like most modern women today. Let's be honest here. Finding a good woman today is like finding a needle in a haystack. They are out there. I promise you, they are out there. I meet a good handful of them like every year or so. But then again, I go out all the time. I'm constantly out there socializing. I'm constantly putting myself out there. As I've told you guys, if you want to meet people, you need to go out. I believe it was Mystery who was on Conan O'Brien, and Conan asked him, they totally made fun of him for this. He said, what's the one lesson I need to learn? And Mystery said, you need to go out. And then Conan totally just trolled on him for that, which was funny. It was funny, but at the same time, it is so true. You just need to go out, man. You need to get yourself out there. It's easy to stay home with a bag of chips, pizza, Amazon Prime, and throw up a movie, or YouTube, throw up some movie or some content, but you need to go out there and engage. And if I can do it as a 53-year-old man, still doing it, still getting my ass up and going out there, doing game against guys who could be my son's age and picking up women who could be my daughter's age, you can do it. What's your excuse? I don't want to hear it, man. I'm so tired of excuses. But regardless, guys, that is the coaching lesson tonight, that women fall in love with the idea of you and fall out of love with the real you. And very few can transcend from that movie version of you, the superhero version of you, to the real you and still stay with you, still be standing with you at the end of the movie and stay with you and walk out that theater together. Very few women can do that. But then again, very few women are girlfriend material. Very few women are marriage material. That's why you want to look for those type of women that will stay with you regardless. Obviously, you still have to work on yourself, still have to become the best version of yourself. You have to continuously be a work in progress. I feel like I'm a constant work in progress, and I've done a lot of work on myself, but I am a student of the game. I am a constant work in progress, as you should be. That is how you know you found a good one. When she stays with you after the movie, she's okay with you not being Superman 24/7, and she's okay with leaving with Clark Kent. Even Lois Lane, she fell in love with Superman, didn't she? She had a problem staying with Clark Kent. Again, guys, they're out there. You just have to look. Okay, you just have to look. As always, drop your comments below if you've gained value out of tonight's video, if you've gotten value out of tonight's content. On your way out, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. And if you want to support my work, jump into 7 Months to Mastery below, where I will teach you all of my best pickup tactics, techniques, DHVs, openers, all the stuff that's took me 30 years to learn. It's invaluable, and it's all in my program, 7 Months to Mastery below. First month's only $1. Take advantage of it. Click that link below, and I'll see you in my next coaching video.